Okay. I know it's late for some of you. I'll make this card 6 inches by 6 inches, and maybe Susan would have a grand idea. I think I might try her suggestion on this one. This one is a 4-step card. Let me see if I have a picture of a 4-step card. I didn't put one together. Let's see, my desktop, 4-step. But I did grab one. Here's a 4-step card. You can see it better here. I really like this one that I found at Split Coast Stampers, and I liked how these stepped out. This makes a nice scene. I think it's probably a winter Christmas card or Christmas winter holidays. So I thought I can do that. So to do that, get that effect, again, we're going to want to be in portrait mode. Normally when I design in Popup Card Studio, I'm in landscape, which is the default, but I'll click portrait. And again, move to the bottom so that I'm working from this side out. And so I have 6 inches, and I have how many steps? How many steps? 4 steps. So I want my steps, they go all the way from bottom to top. I want my steps to be 1.5 inches a piece. So I'm going to go again like I did before, click on the library and click on polygons and grab that rectangle. Could grab a square. Doesn't much matter. And I want these to be, each one of these to be 1.5 inches wide going up. Right now it's 1/2 inch, so I want it to be 1.5 inches. Let me try this again. It says point. Oh. And I need 4 of them. So I'm going to click on the plus, and we'll have no spacing in between any of them. So I'll just make that spacing 0. So all I need to do now is just change the length of those blocks, and then we'll have our, and fold them back, and they'll be our cards. So let's see, the first one is going to be 2 inches, the top one here. So we'll make it 2 inches and fold it back, accept. Now click the next one, and we'll make that 3 inches. Fold it back. Select the next one, and we'll make it 4 inches. Enter. Fold it back. And last one, we'll make 5 inches. Enter. And fold it back. And accept. And we have our card. Any questions on that?
You have to weld all that front ones together though, don't you?
Well,
otherwise they're going to be...
Let's look at print preview. I don't see any place where I need to weld. Do you?
Yeah, that whole front section of your steps, not the step part, the front part. where you've got 4 on your left-hand side.
Uh-huh.
You select all them and weld them together, don't you?
No.
Oh.
Let's look at the picture. You could weld them all together, but yeah, on hers, she had them all welded. So we could do that. Don't have to, but that's a good thought. So all we have to do is select them, and it only selects everything on that layer, so it leaves all of this separate. And you click on the weld, and now it's all one piece. So when she had a continuous design from the left side of the card all the way onto this, which was novel, but I think that's why I like the card so much. I've done these step cards before, but I was trying to put wording, lettering as if these were part of blocks. And I just ran into frustration sometimes. Now there's plenty of room here to do a full scene all the way across to get continuity. And then there's room out here to add more designs, so as she had here. Now I could save the file and make a curve like this and add little scallops on the edge and make the cut. And you could even do an internal design too. You can add snowflakes. I think it's a really pretty card. Again, that's at Split Coast Stampers. So you see how fast it is to do a card like this in Popup Card Studio. It's amazing. So we just go to File, and well, we should save it. Save it. We'll save this as a 4-step pop-up card. 6x6. I put the measurements in because I've tried several different sizes. I'll just call this number 4 and save it. Now that I've saved it with a name, I can go to Export, Project Rendering as SVG, and then I like to save the shapes as well. Export Project Shapes as SVG. And that way I'll have this piece separately if I want to change it for colors. This opens up in my Hazel's InView software. But I have it in SVG, so I can open Make the Cut, and 4-step card number 4. I might want to rotate this and change the color a bit. So we have some lines that are, these are the cut lines. We have some engraving lines. We send the card to its own layer. So these are all the cut lines here, and then these are the score lines. So I would call these engrave. These are easier to cut. They could be dashed if we wanted to, and these are the cut. Then if I want to bring in the shapes, we can go to SVG and bring in the shapes. Now you have all the shapes that you need to have. We'll select that and rotate again. And I can shadow, do inset shadow on all of these. Susan, do you do inset shadow on all of them at once, or do you break them apart first?
You need to do them one at a time.
Okay, so I find the pieces that I want to shadow. So that one, I don't like it to be exactly the same size as a card because it gives it more dimension. Then there's this piece that goes here, and then this piece that goes here. So we have some background pieces. then I can change these. I may use all of these, but as Susan says, it probably shadow them separately to maybe that 0.1 minus 0.1. And shadow this one the same. And this one. And we could get rid of the green one, and we would just be keeping the black ones. And for the fronts of the stairs, we shadow those as well. That way the color of the background would show through. I think since these are inset shadows that we could probably do them all together. Makes for easier placement. And then I can change the colors by just selecting all my black layers. Hold a shift and click on each of the icons and send them all to the own layer at the top and change that. So now we have nice pieces on our card that we can add whatever ornaments that we want. We could keep these if we for other things, or we can just throw them away. Delete, delete, delete. So this, we could name this one Save As, and call that 4-step pop-up card.